First of all, y'all got me messed up. I've been awake. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. I'm Kia. Good morning, Preg. Good morning, Applejacks. Good morning, Amelia. How are you guys this morning? Good morning. Yes, I overslept yesterday. Okay. Because y'all know you during the holidays you turn your alarms off and I just forgot to turn it back on. But it's so stupid because on Monday I woke up at 8:30 on the dot. But then yesterday I didn't wake up till 9:35. I'm sorry. Okay. I have to tell y'all about my DMV chronicles from the weekend and yesterday. Yeah, them people kind of had me fucked up. 77. Just a tad. Just a tad. I did take one trade, which for whatever reason, my break even button is not putting me one tick in profit. And I would have to go check. I can't really change anything right now. Why isn't it? It says one tick. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, how are you guys this morning? We do have 9 o'clock news. I think it's medium, right? Yes, it's medium. Medium. Mm. I saw the market was a little trash yesterday. Good morning, Timbo. How are you this morning? Yes, send me hearts. Thank you. You can't be mad at me. What my fault? Well, it was my fault, but all right, my bad. I really I legit was in my dream and I was like, yo, you might want to wake up. You kind of been asleep a little too long. And yeah, when I woke up, I was like, oh, it's 9:35. Look at that. You come in out late and stuff. I'm sorry, Applejacks. I did take a trade. I came in late because I was changing my overlay to make sure that I put on there. Oh, I forgot I did this. To make sure I put on there that I do not agree with the dumb shit that Apex is doing at the moment. Because, people think that if you still post sales or whatever, that you're a shill and all this other stuff. No, motherfucker. I trade with them. I still trade with them. Despite their dumbassness, this is the first time that they've done dumb shit. And people are still going to trade with them. People who are not affected by things will still trade with companies, okay? And if people still want to support my channel by using my code, they can do so, okay? So I had to make sure I did that. But yeah, y'all, my DMV chronicles, honey. Hunty. Just wait. Just wait until I tell you because this shit was insane, okay? It was insane. Don't like that. But yeah, first of all, I was trying to get an affiliate code with Tradeify because I do plan to add Tradeify next, even though I will forever tell people that I do not agree with the way that they do their live accounts. That whole merit account system, and as I gain more accounts, you take more of my percentage, is insane. And I understand that you're funding it with your profit split, but just don't fund it with your profit split. Let me keep my 2 accounts. I don't need 5, and let me keep my percentage split. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. They're a good company and I want to use them. I also will eventually use my funded futures. It's a lot harder to get an affiliate code with my funded futures now. But Tradeify reached back out to me and said that, they're changing some things with the affiliate program and that everything is on pause. But I sent them all my information. So that's that. But yeah, let me tell y'all about my DMV chronicles. So first of all, on Saturday, I decided that I need to get my real ID because I'm actually trying to travel pretty soon and my license was already going to expire anyway on my birthday next month. And so now that the real ID thing is being implemented in the airports, I'm like, okay, well, let me go get that because I don't have my passport. My passport expired last year and I haven't been out of the country in like maybe 3 years, I think. So I had no desire to really get another passport. because I had no plans of traveling out of the country anytime soon. So I called Friday night to one of the few DMVs that are open. I wouldn't say in my area because it ain't in my area. It's like 30 plus minutes out. And it said, we're closed for the holidays, but it was like, check our website. So the website, had Monday as the holiday that would be closed, but it did say that they're open on Saturdays, and there was no nothing under the special day column for them to be closed on Saturday. Get out there. I get out of the car. This girl was like, hey, y'all, they closed for everybody that's pulling up. I'm like, what? So we go back and forth, whatever. She was like, yeah, there's a sign on the door that says they're closed for personal reasons. Okay. So they're like, oh, this other one online that says it is open. Nobody's answering the phone, but they could just be busy. So while everybody's still calling that number, I'm like, shit, I'm finna hop in the car. It's 7 miles away from where I am. The first place was 32 minutes away. Let me just make that clear. So the next place was 7 miles away from where I already was. So I'm like, all right, this just gonna add another 15 minutes. It's cool. I'll drive out there. So before I drive, I call in there like, we're open every first and fourth Saturday of the month. Okay. I check my calendar. There are 5 Saturdays in May, and this Saturday just so happened to be the 4th one. So I decided to go. Get there. They're closed. The sign in the door says we're open the first and last Saturday of the month. Well, motherfucker, those are 2 different things. So a guy who came from the first one with me, I was like, yo, I think we screwed. He was like, yeah, I think so. So I go into my Maps app and I scroll until I find another one that's open from 8 to 12 on Saturday. So I call. It's this long message about how they just changed management and they are open Monday through Friday and every single Saturday from 8 to 12. As long as you are there before 12 o'clock, you will be serviced no matter what time it is, blah, 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 whatever. And it was like, we have no scheduled days off except Monday, the holiday. So, it tells you can stay on the line to speak to somebody. Nobody answered. So the second recording was like, either all the clerks are busy or you've reached us outside of business hours. Now, mind you, at this point, I have to drive another 15 miles to this one, which adds another 20 to 25 minutes to my drive. So I ended up going out there. Now I'm 40 minutes away from home. Okay. So yeah, all the ones by me are closed on Saturdays though. I got mine already, but I had no choice. Driver license was due to expire anyway. It worked out. Yeah. See, and mine was almost about to expire. That's why I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and get it. So I go out here to the last one. Now, this is my 3rd DMV. All right. So as I'm pulling around, I tell my friend, I'm like, yo, they got to be open. It's hella people outside. And then as I pulled close, I saw the door was open. So I scanned my little QR code or whatever to get in line. And so I was number 32 or 33. I go in to use the bathroom. I come out 5 minutes later. I'm down to number 22. We're moving. So after a while, I'm number 16. So the little cute thing is moving. So at some point, I hung up with one of my best friends and I called my sister and I was number 6. And I realized that the number hadn't moved in 20 minutes. So I told my sister, I was like, hey, let me hang up with you because this number has not moved in 20 minutes. And I highly doubt that they have not called me yet. Maybe it's just not updating because we're on the phone. So as I'm hanging up with her, I see that I missed a text message 10 minutes prior saying, thank you for choosing us. Well, hold on. I ain't choose you because I ain't even come inside yet. So I go in and I talk to the first girls at her desk and I was like, hey, I'm here to update my license, but I got a random text message saying thanks for choosing us, but I don't know if y'all called my number yet. So she was like, go talk to that guy. So the guy was helping somebody. So I go to the lady who's doing pre-screening. And so she's like, are you here to update your license? I'm like, yeah. And so she was like, do you have your paperwork? I'm like, yeah. I said, I don't know if y'all called me yet. But I think y'all did. The queue stopped moving. I got this random text message. She was like, well, you have to do this part anyway. So let's see. So as I give her my ID and my birth certificate, she's like, oh yeah, Keamber, I remember your name. We definitely called you. We've been waiting on you. I'm like, all right, cool. So Keamber's on a rant this morning. I suspect you are crazy. Good morning, trenches. I am on a rant because you have to understand what I've dealt with this weekend. So by this time, I've been here for an hour and a half. Okay. So she takes my license, my birth certificate. Then she takes my 2 forms of proof of address or whatever. So she's like, all right, go around the corner. The ladies around the corner will help you. Da, 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 da. All right, cool. Great. So I'm sitting there maybe another 5-10 minutes. And the lady calls my name. So she puts on the screen. Why is my computer moving like that? She puts on the screen my new address that I want to change everything to. And she's like, confirm that that's the address you want. I'm like, yes. So then she starts looking confused. And I was like, no, please, no. This is my third DMV. I've been sitting here for an hour and a half. There is no way you finna tell me it's a problem. So she's like, have you ever had your license suspended or revoked? I'm like, no. She's like, have you ever had a license in another state? I'm like, yeah, but I moved back here in 2015. So she's like, well, our system is showing that you've never had a license. I said, ma'am, I've had my license since the day I turned 16, over half of my life. That's not, and I'm thinking, you see my license right in front of you, but I guess it could have been counterfeit. I don't know. So I'm like, I've definitely had a license. So I tell her, I'm like, I moved from this state to this state to this state. And then I'm like, oh, actually, I did have a license suspended once. I paid a ticket like a week late and Louisiana never sent it to Texas. So Texas suspended my license. I don't even know for how long, but I paid the reinstatement fee. This was years ago. And so she's like, she backs out of something, goes back in. She's like, verify your address again. So I do. And she's like, yeah, our system is showing that you never had a license. I'm like, well, she's like, well, I could see that it was issued in this year at this county office, but we don't have anything in the system. And she's like, see, look, but I couldn't see her monitor. So I'm like, bro, there is no way. So she takes my stuff. I'll be clear to trade in like 20 seconds. So she takes my information, all of my paperwork. I'm trying to make sure there's no other news. There's not. And so she's like, well, let's go ahead and go around the corner and I'm going to give your information to the owner and I'm going to let him dig through it. So I'm like, okay. All right, fine. So I go around the corner. He's like, have you ever had a license in another state? I'm like, yeah, I did. And I'm like, the lady around the corner told me I got my Missouri license in 2018 at this particular office. And so he's like, yeah, well, our system is showing that you don't have a license. You never had a license. I'm like, what? Now, mind you, I can see his computer screen and I can see my license right there. So I'm confused. Because how can y'all say I don't have a license in the system? I can see it right there. It looks just like the one that's in front of you. And she told me the year in which it was issued and the office in which it was issued. And I know that she gave me this information because I got it issued at an office that ain't even close to my house. I don't remember what I did 7 years ago. So he's like, well, ma'am, unfortunately, there's nothing we could do to help you today. What? He's like, yeah, the system got an update back in November and there were accounts that got screwed up and yours just so happened to be one of them. We have to call the state and the state is not open right now, but we have to call the state to resolve this. So he's like, don't worry. If you come back during the week, you don't have to stand in line. You can come straight to me. I'm writing little notes on your paperwork, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking like, sir, you're 40 minutes away from my house. I don't want to drive all the way out here. So I had to leave without my ID. They had to no trenches. A lot of I don't know if this is like this everywhere else as well, but a lot of the DMVs here are like independently owned and operated. Yeah. 65. Hold on. I might take a trade possibly. All right, that changes things a little bit. Did I say that was 65? Oh, well, that changed it. So anyway, at this point I'm pretty irritated, you know what I mean? And so I have to leave. So yesterday continued everything. So I start off driving past the one in my area and 65. Hold on, because I gotta pay attention. Oh, that changes that. So I drive past the ones in my area, and I decide that I'm going to go to one that's like 20 minutes out because my cousin's girlfriend was like, yeah, when I used to work for such and such company, I will go out to this one because there's like barely ever anybody there, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, I'll drive 20 minutes to not have to sit in line. Y'all, I got there. That line was motherfucking long. All right. So I'm already irritated, but I'm 20 minutes out. It makes no sense to drive back towards my house because I'm still going to have to sit in line. Right. So there were 20 people in front of me. It took an hour and a half again. So I'm already irritated at that. So I get up there and there's this young girl and, she asked how could she help me? I said, listen, I just went to the DMV on Saturday. Basically, the guy told me I don't have a driver's license in your system. So you guys will have to call the state. The state has to just do something on their end. It'll fix and then I can renew my license. So she goes in and she's like, I want you to see what I can see. She's like, you literally don't even have in here that you took your driver's test. I'm like, girl, what? So she was like, well, the good thing is normally in this little area, if we can't issue you a license, it'll be red and it'll give us one of two reasons why. But yours says green and that we can proceed to give you your license. We just have to figure out why everything is missing. So she passes me off to this guy who I now know is new, which now I'm pissed. But anyway, she passes me off to this guy. She explains to him that he needs to call the state. So I'm standing there. We waiting on hold for the state to answer. It took about 10 minutes. And so while he's on the phone, he starts to grab a notepad. I knew it was a problem. I knew it was a problem as soon as, because what you need to take notes for. So he's taking notes or whatever. So as he's on the phone, he's like, you got a Georgia license in 2020? I'm like, no. I'm like, I moved away from Georgia like over 10 years ago. And I definitely didn't get a new license in 2020. I haven't even been back to Georgia since before COVID happened. So he's like, no, they're saying that you got a new license in Georgia in 2020. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, and I had a license in between. I'm pretty sure I had a license from a different state in between living in Georgia and moving back here. So as he gets off the phone with her, he gives me this notepad or sticky note. And he's like, I need you to call this number and this is your driver record number. You need to get them to give you your driver record number and then we'll be able to proceed. And I'm like, okay, well, no offense, but what is getting the driver record going to do? Like, I need to understand like this whole process because I just sat in the DMV for an hour and a half on Saturday. I've been here for an hour and a half just for y'all to tell me that I still can't get my ID and I don't even understand what's going on. He's like, well, the driver record will show us what happened to that license. I'm like, but I don't understand why y'all need to know what happened with that license when I've had a license here since 2018. I don't know how Georgia gave me a license in 2020. That doesn't even make sense. So I'm like, he was like, well, I said, so you mean to tell me there's nothing y'all could do to help me today either? He's like, no, ma'am. So now I'm mad. Now I'm pissed. Hold on one second. 43. That invalidated itself. So now I'm irritated because I've sat here for no reason. So I decide I'm going to go outside and call this damn number. So as I'm on hold with Georgia, I walk back in. I ask the girl for their fax number. I'm like, just in case they can give me my driver record and fax it over to y'all so I can get this handled today. I don't want to do this for a third day for some shit that has nothing to do with anything I did. So she gives me the fax number, but then she asks her coworker, and her coworker is like, well, they can give it to you over the phone, but they're going to email you and you have to print it out. We can't print it for you. So now I'm even more mad. So I go outside. I wait on hold for about 10-15 minutes. So the guy answers. He's like, can I get your driver's license number? I said, well, that's going to be very difficult to do because I have not lived there in over 10 years. And he's like, okay, so how can I help you? So I explained to him, like, I'm trying to get my Missouri license renewed. They're telling me I got a new license from y'all in 2020, which is literally impossible because I moved away from there over 10 years ago and I have not been back since before 2020. So nothing is making sense. So he's like, well, I'm going to have to put you on the line with a tech team, and the tech team has to help you create your account because you don't have the credentials, like you don't have your license number, no anything. So they're going to have to verify your identity, whatever. He's like, and then you'll be able to log in order, meaning pay with my own money, order a certified driving record, and then you'll be able to use that to get the renewal. So I was like, are they going to be able to email that? He's like, no, it has to be certified. So it's going to come in the mail. I said, so you mean to tell me I have to wait even longer to get my ID? And so I was like, that's not really going to work for me, sir. Like, no offense, that's not going to work with me. We got to figure something else out. So I was like, none of this makes sense, because how did y'all give me a license 2 years after I got my license here and I haven't even been back there? And so he put me on hold. So he comes back. He's like, all right, I figured everything out. So basically what happened was, when I got my license here in 2018, the incompetent employee never canceled me out of Georgia's system. So what Georgia, and I know I had another license from another state in between them, but that's neither here nor there. So, oh wait, do I want to take this? Maybe. Maybe we'll see. But anyway, so he said that because I was never canceled out of Georgia's system, when my Georgia license was set to renew in 2020, because it was during COVID, Georgia automatically renewed everybody's licenses to give them extra time to come in, because, you know, there was such limited hours and everything. I said, so y'all auto renew my license and I haven't lived there. By the time y'all renewed it, I hadn't lived there in over 5 years. He's like, yes, ma'am, that's exactly what happened. He's like, but Missouri should be able to absolutely pull you back into their system without needing anything from us. I'm like, well, the problem is we just got off the phone with them. They told me to call you. Now you telling me to call them back and do something. And I'm the middleman that shouldn't have to deal with this, because none of this is my fault. He's like, well, the only other option is for, do I want to do this? Maybe 60. Why is everything 65? No, that's too close to where I would have to break even. So he's like, the only other option is, like I said before, for you to get on the phone with the tech team, and the tech team will have to video verify who you are, since you don't have all the other credentials, and you have to do that certified driving record thing. I was like, all right, we're going to have a problem here. So while I'm on the phone with him, my phone starts ringing from the same number I called him at. And I was like, hey, I think somebody from your office is calling me. Can I put you on a brief hold? So he's like, yeah. So I click over, and it's his supervisor who he put me on hold for, to ask her, about everything. She was like, hey, Miss Vaughn, I was just calling to let you know that everything is fixed. We canceled you out of our system, and you should be able to renew your Missouri license. I'm like, for real? So I don't need this driver record? She's like, no, you're good to go. So I go back in there. Now, mind you, by this time, I've only been gone from the DMV maybe 15 or 20. I would say about 20 to 20 minutes or so, because I sat on hold for maybe like 12 to 15 minutes, and it didn't take long for all this. So I walk back in. The dude is helping somebody, but he's scanning something. So I was like, hey, I got Georgia to fix it. Do I have to get another ticket number? Y'all know this motherfucker told me yes. Now, when I got here, it was 20 people in front of me, and it took an hour and a half. Now, when I look at the ticket number, it's 20 people in front of me again. And you think I'm finna wait another hour and a half when all I did was go outside and call a number you told me to call to get something fixed, and you think I'm finna wait in line again? I grabbed every survey I could see. Oh, they was finna hear from me, okay? So I'm complaining to my best friend. I hang up with him. I talk to my sister, and my sister's like, sissy, this is one of the times where you need to ask for a supervisor. I try not to be that black person that's always asks for supervisors, but this motherfucker had me fucked up. He thought I was finna wait another hour and a half. So I talked to the supervisor. He gets me to get helped by somebody who's been there for longer. He's like, that guy over there, he's kind of new. And, all right, well, y'all shouldn't have gave me him in the first place, knowing what the situation was when I told y'all from jump. So I ended up getting helped at that point. But y'all, it was a roller coaster. Story time. We holding it. 450, but now we consolidating. What you thinking, bro? I don't know. I'm literally waiting to kind of see. I haven't had a setup yet, though. I don't know. I kind of wanted to get up into a buy here, but because of how much volume was in this bar down, like right now, whenever there's like, can my mouse go over there? All right, so you see how there's more volume in this than like all of these bars going up? Normally on my reversal bar, I want the volume to overtake this, but I think when I'm bouncing off of a level, it doesn't matter. But for now, I still like want it to be that way. So that's the only reason. I've still been looking at the market. It's just I don't have anything. There's too many levels around here. And looking at the time-based chart, I understand why. It's consolidating heavy. Pretty heavy. So I'm just kind of waiting to see. Let me see if this would have still worked out. No. So even this buy right here doesn't follow my rules, so I wouldn't have taken it regardless. But yeah, I'm just kind of waiting. Nothing is jumping out at me. Yeah, even this sale right here, I couldn't because of the imbalance that was there. So I'm just waiting. But it does look pretty. It looks like there's a lot of support there. Now that would be a trade. If it works out, I guess I'll have to just, if it's bouncing off of a level, it doesn't really matter. The volume and order flow, well, the order flow looked good, but like I said, because of how high the volume was on this way up, I would actually prefer for the entry bar to take over the volume there, but it might still work out. Okay, so maybe when I'm bouncing off of a level, it doesn't matter. I could take that, I guess. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong bar. All right, I lied. That wasn't the bar I was looking for. But my story time's over. Too much volume in this bar. I don't have a rule for this yet. And the delta's negative anyway, with imbalance on top of it. This is so ugly. I'm surprised that delta turned positive. Still, it was an imbalance in the point of control, so I wouldn't have been able to take it anyway. But the support seems pretty heavy here. I mean, we have that's the first lower deviation level on the VWAP. You got the overnight high there. And because of the way the structure is being created, we keep kind of bouncing off of these sell rotation levels, which the sell rotation levels are always drawn from a higher low, which technically is the support level. So we're supporting pretty heavy here. And all the consolidation here kind of makes sense too. First of all, anytime you could see 2 or 3 different lines on the Renko chart for the VWAP in one screen, that's a problem. That means we are way too congested. But then you have all these other levels here as well, so that doesn't help either. And it's like, do I get into the trades when the bar closes or not? Because like here, if this bar closes up, I have to break even after 5 ticks. So the likelihood of it pushing through is kind of low. That's like the trade that I took before I got on stream. I had to break even at the VWAP. It was here. I had to break even at the VWAP, and then we bounced down off the VWAP. What does that look like? It would take a lot for I think we're at the point of control for the day. I think the up down tick shows it properly since all of the data loads on up down tick. Oh. What are we gonna do? The overnight range was pretty tight as well. Only like 25 points. That's crazy. Oh, that was a nasty bounce. Keep having to break even at the freaking levels is so annoying. Might push through, but I can't take any chances. Maybe I should have took a chance. You think? I wanted us to be able to just push straight through there. 73. I don't want to take a sell here. This VWAP is too close. I'm hoping that eventually, like, I only have to break even at opposite levels. You know, this is a lower deviation level, so it serves as support. So I'm hoping that eventually, like when I'm taking trades like that, I don't have to break even there. Now, if I have to break even on a sell going into the support, that's a little different, but we literally pushed up 88 ticks from my entry. How wonderful. Yep, there it is. I got it, but had to protect. Had to protect. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to open that back up. I've been so used to not coffee trading because I've been trading just the take profit trader account by itself for so long now. I just opened up the control center for NinjaTrader so I can make sure that I'm in and out of the trades simultaneously. I would prefer it if we kind of came up and created a higher high instead, but I'm not interested in us rotating up off of this level, so I'll just look for the next sale after we push up. Come on, create the higher high. Or not. Come on, bro. Breakout. Looks like I'm leaving this market alone today. Man, it's pretty ass. When so yesterday, like early, maybe late afternoon, early evening, I was like writing all the trades from yesterday, and basically I'm still kind of at the point where I just write every reversal bar that happens in that short hour and 10-minute time span, minus if the delta, like if I'm getting into a buy and the bar has negative delta, I don't write those. And there weren't very many. I think maybe, I don't even remember. There wasn't a lot of trades that happened at all yesterday. So I was like, well, I guess I didn't miss anything. This market is hella trash. Not interested in the sale. At least not right there. I'm not. If we can come up to where the entry bar will not be on the VWAP, then I'll look for it. Otherwise, I'll just have to wait for the reverse bar and look for a buy. I don't know. This market's ass. I don't like that buy either. Trenches, have you been trading at all, or you've just still been kind of waiting to see if we're going to get out of the consolidation? What does a 5-minute chart look like? Ay. What is this? This is so ugly. The delta is negative. I could have took another day off for this shit. Good morning, True. How are you this morning? A winner and a loser? Got you, got you. How are you this morning, True? I am break even. I took 2 trades, broke even on both. They basically both hit levels where I had to break even at them, and they popped down and hit my break even. The first one would have lost anyway, but the second one actually pushed through after it broke even on me. Where the heck? Oh, here. It was this trade. I broke even at the VWAP and popped down, broke even, and then pushed up. What the fuck is this? Can't complain. Just watching this crazy market. It is so insane. Like, please. And the crazy thing is, if it breaks out, it's going to break out after I'm off the charts. It is nothing more irritating than the market doing this all session. And then, as I'm journaling and I'm watching other streamers, then I'm like, oh, there's the moves I've been waiting for all morning. Well, I guess not all morning, but if it don't happen in the first hour, 15 hour and a half of the market being open, I don't expect much to happen outside of that. Look, we had a pretty decent move up, pretty decent move down, and then it's just been nothing ever since. It's crazy. Don't like this. But yeah, that is like super annoying. I'm like, oh, the market just moved up 200 points during lunchtime. Great. Did you used to trade Forex? I did. When I was first introduced to trading, I feel like I was introduced to futures first. And then I feel like he started talking about Forex because futures was such a high, buy-in compared to Forex or whatever. But yeah, I used to trade Forex. I actually tried FTMO and I didn't pass it, but I got it back to, well, I don't know how FTMO is now, but before, like, as long as, because I think the first phase was 30 days, the second phase was 60 days kind of thing. So it wasn't like futures where it's just whenever you pass it. And so, as long as you were in a positive balance at the end of the 30 days, then you were able to restart the challenge. Like, it's not like you failed it, which was important because it was like $600 for a 100K account. And I actually still have that account sitting there. I don't know. I probably can't trade it now because I'm a US customer, but yeah, there actually was this position size calculator that I had in MT4 that was the best calculator ever. Like, I really wish they could integrate something like that in NinjaTrader. It was pretty dope. But yeah, I've traded Forex, obviously futures, and I've traded binary options on Nadex, which I loved binary options until it only takes a couple of times for the contract to close either at your strike price or one tick on the other side or one pip on the other side for you to say, fuck this shit. And that's exactly what I did. You ain't gonna keep getting me like that. Military training later today. I don't want to be a task leader. I want to be a regular. Well, you're not regular, Miss Applejacks. So sorry. Figure it out. I figure it out. Hopefully this is the right group chat. We're celebrating Phil's birthday. Sunday. Guess I will be there. I cannot believe I woke up for this. FOMC later. Yeah. What a um are the do the minutes usually do very much? I'm never logged in at that time. Notice how no one talks about the currency futures. I just search for them. Yeah, I think true. So I think that with the currency futures, it might be because like it seems like the only people who ever really talk about currency futures are people who used to trade Forex, who know that currency futures are a thing. People that I've seen who've come over from Forex, mainly like when all of the Forex gurus, influencers online started transitioning to futures because of, the prop firm industry over there and Forex not accepting US customers, many of them not accepting US customers. It seems like, first of all, a lot of people that I see who trade Forex now don't really trade currencies like that. Most people are trading Nasdaq or Dow on in Forex. And so when they come over, they just automatically go into the futures versions of that. And I've told a few people that I've seen who trade Forex when trading indices or CFDs that they might as well just come to futures because first of all, you're trading a fake product. Your spread will always be better in futures because it's not manipulated. You have actual volume and data that you can base a strategy off of. So it doesn't make sense to trade CFDs to me. The only reason it kind of made sense was prior to like prop firms becoming really popular. It made sense because, again, the lower buy in rate. You could put $200 into a Forex account and grow it, and it's a lot harder to do that in futures, even with micros. But yeah, I think it's just that a lot of people don't talk about it because they either don't know it's there or they were already trading CFDs. And so they just naturally just continue trading the same product that they were trading before. Minutes does something, but not much. Got you. Well, let's slow this goddamn on market down. That's for damn show. 1, 2, 3. All right. This is what I'm talking about. We got 8 minutes left. And if this thing wants to now break out, I'm going to be irritated. 2, 3. I've been so patient. So patient. Like just in how we kept bouncing between here. Bouncing between here. Just ew. Yucky, yucky. I gotta wait one more reversal bar and then I could try to trade again. But considering where we are, it might not be possible unless we kind of come up to the VWAP up here. That'll give me space to sell and not have to break even at the overnight low. But it just also kind of depends. No, we'll see. This probably would have been a perfect day for a 16 tick chart. Perfect day. Come on, come up here to the VWAP. And I think That's almost 2 points. Mm-mm-mm. Oh my God. I didn't want to double top again. I don't really like taking double bottoms and double tops on pullbacks. Like this is a traditional pullback. They just ended in a double top. I don't like that. Maybe if we create a higher high, maybe. 1, 2, 3, this would be the fourth. $38. We stalled here for too long. What the fuck? Celibate money. Perfect day for ice cream. I had some last night. It was fire. I mixed it with McDonald's apple pie that my best friend had brought over. You worked out last night? That's all the more reason to do it. You have permission. You're not fucking with that? Yeah. Yep. You finna go crack? Wait. Wait a minute. Trenches? No. What? See, Applejacks, this is why he said he's basically celibate. He's not really celibate. He's fake. He's a fake. He's a fake. Last time my mom and I took a road trip, we stopped just for them. I don't really eat apple pies like that. They were okay, but I just felt like they used to taste better when I was younger. Maybe I'm tripping, but they was all right. The ice cream definitely made it better because I had some Bluebell French vanilla ice cream. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. All right, I don't think I'm gonna. I'm trying to think. Do I want to push this to 10 o'clock or not? I'm probably not. It's the first day back in the PAs. I ended up break even in a shitty market. I think I'd rather take that because I feel like if I continue to trade until 10 and then I lose a trade, I'm gonna be mad. So I'd rather just stick with my times, and it just kind of is what it is. Today was trash, and that's okay. Cause yeah, I don't see this happening. Maybe that's food I had to stop for. Focus on me. Well, Trenches ain't focused. Well, I guess he is focused on him. He's focused on his third leg. Not argue with your great granny. Somebody brought that over the Bluebell for our Memorial Day gathering. I don't really eat ice cream like that. I don't really consume a lot of dairy. But I'm gonna tell you what, it was good because I ain't had it in a long time. Real long time. But yeah, I feel like them apple pies are smaller and they ain't as filling as they was before because that filling used to bust out the seam. You hear me? But I don't know what the hell they doing now. Just being cheap. Being cheap. All right. Well, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I am not upset about today in any capacity. Like I said, to come out break even with all the consolidation that happened today, I would just consider that a blessing. So I took 2 trades. Like I said, I had to break even on both. One of them would have lost because it was a buy and I had to break even at the upper deviation level on the VWAP, which is a resistance level. The other one, I took a buy underneath the lower deviation level and it ended up breaking even and pushing through. So not a horrible way to start off. Of course, I would have rather been green, but this PA with Apex, which is my PA that I got in March of last year that I passed accidentally, we still have like $635 of drawdown left on it. So that is actually why I have that as the follower instead of the leader. This is also a Rhythmic account, and you guys know that I ended up switching my accounts to Tradeovate. So that's my remaining Rhythmic account. And so if I end up, blowing that, I'm okay with it. And that's why I'm willing to trade it right now. It's just kind of like a whatever kind of thing. See you, Pred. So yeah, I'm going to go journal, relax a little bit before I have to go to my best friend's house to help with her kids. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:45 Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.